Hey, what's good, you guys? It's your boy Hotbox coming at you with another one, and I've been checking out this game called Dragonsword Awakening, and I gotta be honest with y'all, I really mess with it. So this game first hit me on my radar about a couple months ago, but I started seeing it more and more during the Summer Games Fest, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but to me it looked very nostalgic. I know I play a lot of RPGs, a lot of anime games, and gachas, but I knew the style from somewhere, and I ended up finding out where it was from, because this is a spiritual successor to Dragon's Nest. And let me tell y'all, I was shocked because that game was my game back then. Like, I didn't have a strong PC, but I remember Dragon's Nest. I remember getting really into it. I used to love the combat system, and I remember it was one of the first games where I played like a magic class. There was a witch class, and I was hooked. She was using gravity or some shit, so I thought it was sick. But yeah, little did I know that this is basically the spiritual successor to that game. So knowing my history with the franchise, you know I had to check it out. The one thing I can say is that this game has changed a lot, or at least from the current form it's in. We've gone from an MMO style RPG to a gacha style action RPG. And it makes sense with the climate around nowadays. And looking into the game, it looks like it was originally supposed to be a full-blown gacha game, but switched gears late in development due to some conflicts of interest between the developer and the publisher. The one thing I have to say though is that the one thing I do love about this game is that you only pay like a dollar amount, which for me was about $30, and you get the game in full. No free to play bullshit, no gacha gambling, just the classic. You buy the game once, you're done. Of course, there's DLC skins and DLC mounts, but you know, that's easy to overlook because everything in the game is like a classic game, which I'm very happy about because y'all know with these gacha games, one way or the other, they're gonna try to milk that money from you. So it's very well put together, and I think I'm gonna like it a lot as the further I get into it. And I'm gonna tell you why I like it already. So let me start off by saying this game looks good, and I mean really good. Honestly, if I had to say, I think it would be one of the best looking anime games out there right now. If I compare it to like the old Dragon's Nest, it looks like it kept most of our art style but changed it just a little bit. The fidelity though is so much higher. Personally, if I had to say, I think it looks a little bit better. A little bit better than Genshin Impact, but it's mainly the art style I'm fucking with because I kind of, I just kind of like it a bit more. But also just as you expect, the world is expansive because these open world gacha games, they usually look really good. So like it's in the same spirit again as Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact. So the scenery looks very good. The grass looks amazing. The rolling hills, the skybox, everything looks really well done. It feels endless. And honestly, when it comes to graphics, I don't think there's much to complain about here. Being that it follows, the gacha genre, a major aspect of this game is exploring the world. This one really borrows from other world gacha games, obviously. And the structure is mostly exactly the same, almost very similar to Genshin meets Dragon's Nest, kinda meets, I don't know, like it's around that kind of style. But again, it's the open world is full of puzzles, gliding challenges, treasure chests, mini bosses, dungeons everywhere, and the creatures called familiars that you use. That's what you're gonna use to fly, glide, swim, and climb, just like in all the other gacha games. There are a variety of different ones and different types, and depending on how much you get of one familiar, you get more bonuses that unlocks for every familiar, which is really, again, it's very like friendly or free to play friendly. You end up collecting like most of the familiars anyway, ones that are not DLC, mind you, simply because it's just that type of game. It's the type of game that you just collect shit. The progression seems fine, like you would expect from this kind of game. Also, just like any other game in this genre, there's multiple ways to level up. You can level up by doing activities in the open world. Almost any amount of activity gives you experience points, but the best way is to do the dungeons, because just like the other games in the genre, you get character experience, account experience, weapon experience, ascension materials, all types of goodies to power your characters up. The cool thing here is that I wish other games of this genre did, like the Genshins and the Wuthering Waves. And mind you, Wuthering Wave is one of my favorite like gacha games and games in general, but this game just blows it out of the water when it comes to accessibility, because you can challenge these things as many times as you like. You're not on a timer. You know what I mean? You're not waiting for a regenerating resource. You can just play it. And I love that because it takes a lot of the burden off of you, like the FOMO. You just do it at your own leisure whenever you want. You're not missing anything. Like, I really mess with it because the progression is not restricted in any way. Everything is unlocked through gameplay, and there's straight up no gacha mechanics. And honestly, I ain't gonna hold you, that's a massive breath of fresh air to me. So when we get to the story, you know me, like I say it all the time, I love the story, but here the story is not really nothing to write home about. It's your classic hero's journey, you feel me? We follow Luke, a young boy who washes up on the beach, as a lot of these protagonists tend to do. And he's kind of shipwrecked, but he's looking for his grandfather. He's supposed to go to the kingdom and meet with the king and all this other stuff. But he ends up joining a mercenary band and learning more about the world around him and the conflict between heroes and dragons. The story progresses and you realize that the origin dragons still exist in this world and the heroes are not like what they seem to be. They're more flawed than you think. And as you go throughout the game, learning these truths about the world, your character gets stronger, and you know how it is, it's friendship and the whole 9 yards, you feel me? Honestly, I liked almost every character in the game so far, which really doesn't happen often. I'm surprised that I really like it. The Korean voice acting is great, no problems there. Y'all know me, I'm a subs guy, so the Korean, it fits for me. And, again, back to the characters. Each character is unlocked through progression. You can get all your waifus you want. You don't got to pay nothing. It's unlocked through progression, and you get tickets through playing the story. You know what I mean? And then you can unlock the characters you want when you want. I love that. It's very old school, it's dope. But, again, your immediate band of mercenaries are all cool. Johnny especially, I really mess with him. He's arrogant and selfish, but at the same time, he cares for the crew. Low-key, he gives off, like an adult Luffy vibe. I mean, I know that's kind of sacrilege to say to you all One Piece fans, but that's how I feel. Well, I really rock with it, and everything is, everything's all said and done. The story's pretty average, but the characters I find very enjoyable. My only question here is that it looks like there's a lot of setup for future content and future story updates, because apparently there's 7 or 9 origin dragons, and out here in this game, we've only been chasing one the whole time. And I've played I played a bunch of hours in this game, and I don't think I'm at the end yet. So again, it's one of those long games, but I'm a bit confused on how they plan to support the game long term, given that it looks like they're setting up for more than what's in the game right now. So I want to know how that works. Now, let me say that the biggest draw to me here is the combat. The game is very much an action combat game. I don't know if I would necessarily call it an RPG, but it is definitely an action game. It's kind of button mashy if you don't know what you're doing, but it's very fun. There's multiple damage types, there's multiple characters, and combinations that lead to more and amazing fun team dynamics. So you start off with 3 characters on one team, and every character has about 2 skills, a status effect that they can afflict, and combo skills, and also an intro skill or a switch skill. And they all activate depending on whether you stun the boss or you inflict a status effect, you know what I mean, or your character does a moveset that allows for another character to be switched in. So knowing your characters kind of becomes more important as the game goes on, because it becomes more tactical instead of more button mashy, which I enjoy. It's really cool because the combo system in this game, I kind of like the way it works. Here's using all those different types of skills that I just explained. Once you get the hang of it, soon you'll be finding yourself reducing the enemy's stun bar, right? Once you reduce the stun bar, you can make them dizzy or poison them. And depending on what status effect they have, a character who affects that static effect will now do a move on top of that because you had applied a static effect to the enemy. Once they do a move, oftentimes they will set up another character to come switch in. And once you switch in, you kind of just restart the process. The loop feels great, and once you have these long combos, my favorite so far, y'all know I like the juggle characters, so I like the aerial characters. And once you get an enemy in the air, depending on how well you do your rotation, you can keep those enemies in the air for quite some time. It's very fun, it's very funny, and it feels nice because it will just click. Once you get it, you get it. I enjoy the combat. For me, it's not as good as Wuwa, you feel me? but it's up there. I really do like it, and I feel like with the more characters we get, the more interesting the combat will become. So yeah, guys, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. It's very casual friendly. You know what I mean? The progression is not constantly throttled like these other gacha games. It's easy to enjoy the game at your own pace. Like, I've been chilling on this game. Came out like 2 weeks ago. I've had it since launch, and I've been just coasting because, again, I'm playing other games, but I just enjoyed the fact that I can just coast. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm on a timer. I don't feel like I gotta do my daily or whatever. I can just play the game at my own pace whenever I want to, and I really enjoy that because it's making me play the game long term, which I feel like these other gacha games kind of miss out on, because eventually, once you hit FOMO with gacha games, you kind of don't want to play anymore once you missed out on a lot of content. With this game, it's not really like that because, again, everything is just unlockable at your own pace. For $30, it's a great trade-off for not paying anything for a gacha game, because, a gacha game got to get its money out of you in any type of way. I think y'all should try this out, because I believe that games that do not participate in the money grubbing that, these other games do deserve a spotlight, you feel me? Honestly, I want all those crazy practices and gacha games to go away, or at least be not as present. So we should really support the games that do without it, you feel me? They do good without it. They don't have to do these things. It's also pretty dope that the game is just fun in general, you feel me? The game is just great. I'm enjoying it. I plan on continuing it. I plan on kind of playing this game long term, because it's very easy going. I enjoy it. But yeah, you feel me? That's all for me today. I'm gonna come at you with another one soon, but I just wanted to put the spotlight on this game because I feel like it deserves it. It does everything right, and it doesn't constantly ask you for money. You feel me? It doesn't constantly asking you to put some money down to progress when you want to. It's the way. It's like a gacha game without the gacha. And why wouldn't that be dope? But yeah, y'all see me on the next one. Just tell me how y'all think about it. If you guys grabbed it, let me know what you think. And I'll see y'all soon. So take it easy. Peace.